They told you it's just bad luck. They said it's the economy, the system, your background. They pointed at everything, except the mirror. But let me tell you something the world is too afraid to say. You are not poor because of the world. You are poor because of the decisions you've made, or the decisions you've refused to make. You're not just broke financially. You're broke spiritually. You've forgotten who you are. You've traded your power for comfort, your fire for safety, your destiny for distraction. And if you're willing to listen, truly listen, what I'm about to say may burn your illusions to the ground. But from that fire, a new version of you can rise, one that never bows to circumstance again. Let's begin there, at the very source. Before a man ever goes bankrupt in his bank account, he goes bankrupt in his belief. Poverty is not just a number. It's not just the absence of money. It is the presence of fear, a fear so subtle, it wears the mask of reason. You don't try because now isn't the right time. You don't act because what if I fail? You don't chase because someone like me doesn't make it. Where did that voice come from? Who put that idea in your head? Was it the teacher who told you to be realistic? The parent who said, "Money doesn't grow on trees"? The friend who laughed when you dreamed too loud? Let me remind you, every dollar ever earned, every fortune ever built, started in the mind of someone who refused to believe that lie. Think of Edison, going broke trying to bottle light. Think of Henry Ford, mocked for dreaming of machines instead of horses. Think of Oprah, broke and abused, who decided her story would not end in survival, but in sovereignty. They all had one thing in common. They stopped asking for permission. Most people are poor because they don't know what they want. You ask them, "What do you want to do with your life?" They say, "I don't know, something successful, something meaningful." But something is not a vision. Something is a sentence of wandering. Until you decide exactly what you want, down to the detail, you are just another leaf in the wind. The richest men in history didn't get lucky. They got clear. Napoleon Hill said it himself, "Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement." It's not a wish. It's not a hope. It's a decision, and it's made with fire in your gut. You can't attract what you want when your energy is scattered, when your mind is full of conflicting signals. Money doesn't follow chaos. Opportunity doesn't follow indecision. Power doesn't follow passivity. Until you can name your goal, breathe it, walk it, taste it, it will never kneel to you. Let me say this as clearly as possible. The world does not reward need. It rewards value. You may have been told that wanting it bad enough is enough. It's not. You can cry about your situation. You can scream about injustice. You can pray with all your might. But unless you step into the arena, sharpen your mind, build your skills, deliver value like a warrior of purpose, you will stay poor. People think money is evil, but money is just a mirror. It reflects your beliefs. It reflects your habits. It reflects the value you bring into the lives of others. If you're not being paid, it's not because they don't see you. It's because you haven't yet become someone worth noticing. You don't get rich by asking. You get rich by becoming. You become so focused, so skilled, so necessary, that the world has no choice but to respond. You don't rise by doing what's easy. You rise by doing what's required. especially when you don't feel like it. While most are sleeping, the builder is laying bricks. While most are scrolling, the warrior is sharpening his sword. While most are complaining, the few are preparing. Discipline is the bridge between your current life and the one you dream of. And discipline has no sympathy for excuses. People say, "I'm not motivated." That's fine. You don't need motivation. You need standard. Motivation is fleeting, a flame in the wind. But standards are permanent. Raise your standard for your health, your time, your words, your circle, and watch your reality reshape itself in obedience. Poverty loves the undisciplined. It thrives on people who sleep through their potential. But wealth honors the disciplined. It bows to the relentless. Here's what no one wants to say. It's not about them. It's about you. Not your boss, not the market, not your family. You. Because poverty doesn't ask for your opinion. It waits quietly for your apathy, for your hesitation, for your weakness. Every time you hit snooze, it grows. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," it celebrates. Every time you know what you should do but don't, it sharpens its teeth. But the moment you decide to flip the script, the moment you say, "Enough, not one more day like this," it shrinks. Because you don't fight poverty with money. You fight it with clarity, with discipline, with belief, with vision. You fight it with a decision so powerful that your old self has no place to return to. You fight poverty by refusing to be its servant. You stand tall, even when your legs tremble. You show up before you're ready. You act while others analyze. You build while others blame. And no, it won't feel good at first. It will feel lonely. It will feel terrifying. It will feel like war with everything you were trained to believe. Because the truth is, poverty is comfortable. It's familiar. You know how to navigate it. You've made friends with it. It tells you, "Don't try too hard. You might get hurt." It whispers, "Stay here. At least you're safe." But comfort is the poison that rots the soul. Greatness only begins when comfort ends. Look around you. Who do you spend your time with? What do you allow into your ears, your eyes, your mind? What conversations are you tolerating? What energy surrounds you day and night? Because make no mistake, you are not just shaping your life. Your environment is shaping you. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will complain. If you live in a circle of victims, you will stay a victim. But if you dare, truly dare, to place yourself among the disciplined, the hungry, the relentless, something inside you will change. This is not theory. It's biology. You will rise or fall to the level of your tribe. Every poor man who became rich didn't just shift his mindset. He shifted his environment. He changed the conversations. He upgraded the standards. He walked away from comfort and toward confrontation. Confrontation with his own weakness, with mediocrity, with the version of himself that was okay with just surviving. He burned the old map and built a new world. When Walt Disney was told his dream of Disneyland was unrealistic, he didn't argue. He just kept building. When Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he started, he didn't collapse. he went back to the drawing board, to Pixar, to creation. When Les Brown was labeled educable mentally retarded, he didn't accept the label. He rewrote his identity with sweat and fire and faith. What do they all have in common? Vision. Vision doesn't mean fantasy. It means you've seen something so clearly in your mind that no external condition can shake it. You might be broke, but your vision is rich. You might be behind, but your dream is ahead, pulling you forward. You don't need everything to change overnight. You just need one decision, one belief, one commitment. So strong, so unbreakable, that every obstacle bows before it in time. Because reality bends to vision, not the other way around. There is a brutal line that divides the world. On one side are the creators. On the other, the consumers. The poor. They consume, endlessly. Consume distractions. Consume drama. Consume food, media, noise, opinions. But the wealthy, they create. They build. They turn ideas into products, words into value, time into legacy. If all you do is take in what others made, you will always be at the mercy of their power. But the moment you create, you reverse the current. You shift from the hunted to the hunter, from the follower to the force. Stop scrolling. Stop spectating. Start building. Even if it's messy, even if it's slow. Create something today, a thought, a strategy, a routine, a system, a skill. Because wealth chases creators. And let me be crystal clear, your life is your most important creation. You can learn all the hacks. Read every book. Listen to every podcast. But if your identity says, I'm just trying to get by, then getting by is all you'll ever do. Your outer world will never exceed the image you hold of yourself. Do you see yourself as powerful or pitiful? As chosen or cursed? As unstoppable or uncertain? The rich don't just act differently. They think differently. And before that, they see themselves differently. You must upgrade the internal mirror. Not through arrogance, but through clarity. You are not trying to be successful. You are success in motion. You are not hoping things get better. You are making them better by showing up as someone who is no longer negotiable. This is who I am now. That sentence changes everything. Because when your identity changes, your behavior follows. Your habits follow. Your bank account follows. Your life follows. You're not going to think your way out of poverty. You're not going to manifest your way out with vision boards alone. This isn't magic. This is war. War against every habit that keeps you small. War against every excuse that's become a comfort blanket. War against the gravity of your past trying to drag you back down. Yes, mindset is the foundation. But action is the bricks, the mortar, the steel, and the sweat. You must get to a place where execution becomes your oxygen, where you no longer need motivation because your mission has become your identity, where trying is dead and only doing remains. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. Move anyway. Stop hoping for the perfect time. There is no such thing. Start anyway. Stop chasing guarantees. success was never about guarantees. It was about guts. It was about stepping forward when everything in you screamed, "Turn back." The greats never felt ready, but they moved. And movement is the magic. Let's talk about time, the one currency no man can earn back. Most people treat time like it's unlimited. They scroll like kings with 1,000 years to burn. They kill time like it's an enemy. But time was never the enemy. Wasted time is. If you are poor, the first place to look is not your bank account. It's your calendar. What are you doing with your mornings? Your nights? Your weekends? You cannot complain about your lack of progress while binge watching the lives of others. You cannot speak of dreams while living the same day on repeat. The wealthy don't just value money. They value minutes. They see each hour as a seed. And every choice, a vote for the future they say they want. You are planting your future every single day. The question is, what harvest are you really growing? They sound logical. They feel reasonable. They even get sympathy from others. But make no mistake, excuses are thieves. They rob your future. They steal your energy. They convince you that tomorrow, a better place to begin. I'm told. I wasn't born into it. I've tried before. I don't have support. I don't know how. Sound familiar? Every poor man has a pocket full of excuses. But the man who escapes, he burns them. One by one. He stops negotiating with his limitations. Because every time you make an excuse, you declare that something outside of you has more power than what's inside of you. But that's a lie. And deep down, you know it. You are more capable than your story. You are more powerful than your pain. You are more ready than you allow yourself to believe. Now listen closely, because this might surprise you. Gratitude is one of the most lethal weapons against poverty, but not the soft, passive kind of gratitude you post on social media. I'm talking about radical gratitude, the kind that says, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm still standing. I've got breath, fire, time, and I will use them. I'm grateful for every hard thing, because it's building the version of me that nothing can break. Gratitude isn't just about appreciating the good. It's about using the bad. Turning pain into purpose. Turning frustration into fuel. Turning setbacks into stepping stones. You will never become wealthy in the world if you are bankrupt in spirit. So stop cursing your circumstances. Start using them. Say, thank you, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Because when you can be grateful in struggle, you unlock a power that no one can take. This is the part they don't want you to hear. You were born for something bigger. But they convinced you to shrink, to play it safe, to keep your head down, to stay in your lane. They sold you a story, and you bought it. That comfort is better than courage. That survival is enough. That getting by is noble. But deep down, in the parts of you that still burn, you know that's not why you were created. You were not built to pay bills and die. You were not designed to live invisible. You were not called to blend in, bow down, or back away. You were born with greatness in your bones. But it's up to you to activate it. That requires hunger. That requires vision. that requires a war cry from your soul that says, not one more day in chains, not one more year in lack. I choose something different, because I am someone different. Wealth is not about gold watches and fast cars. That's the surface. That's noise. True wealth is the freedom to choose. To wake up when you decide. To spend your time with purpose. To give your children a future without limits. To help without asking. To build without begging. To live without apology. Poverty cages your time. It dictates your schedule. It forces you to trade your energy for pennies while your potential screams from the shadows. Wealth is not greed. Wealth is agency. It is the power to say yes to your calling, and no to what dims your light. And the gate to that power. It's not locked. It was never locked. But it is guarded. Guarded by resistance. Guarded by comfort. Guarded by fear. To walk through that gate, you must slay every part of you that's settled. You must bury the victim. Kill the comfort seeker. Exile the excuse maker. And let the builder rise. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that pain is bad. That discomfort means something's wrong. But let me tell you, pain is proof that you're in motion. It means you're stretching. It means you're shedding skin. It means you're leaving behind the version of you that couldn't carry what's coming. You cannot get to wealth, real wealth, without walking through discomfort. Not around it, not over it, through it. Growth is painful. Discipline is painful. Letting go of old habits is painful. But poverty is torment. The torment of regret. The ache of potential unlived. The soul rut of staying small when you were called to build empires. Choose your pain. One leads to freedom. The other leads to rest. The harshest truth in the world is also the most freeing. No one is coming. Not the government. Not your boss. Not your family. Not fate, luck, or the lottery. And when you finally accept that, you stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop hoping for rescue, and you become the one who rises. You are the storm. You are the miracle. You are the answer. No one owes you anything. But that's what makes it powerful, because that means no one can stop you either. Every chain around you right now is optional. Every wall in your way is meant to be broken. Every ceiling you were told to live under was built by people who gave up. You don't have to. This isn't the beginning of your story. You've already survived too much. You've already come through fire. You've already been tested, broken, bent, and doubted. You're still here. And that means something. You don't need more signs. You don't need more time. You don't need more proof. You need to decide. Because once you decide, really decide, you become something the world can no longer ignore. When you walk like your future depends on it, it does. When you speak like your words build empires, they do. When you work like time is running out, it is. This is the moment. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when you feel ready. Now. This is where your poverty ends, and your power begins. No more waiting. No more doubting. No more surviving. You were not put here to live quiet. You were not built for smallness. You were born to build, to rise, to overcome, and to lead. So go. Build the habits. Shape the mindset. Craft the vision. Do the work. Face the fear. Earn the freedom. Because if you are poor, this is why. And if you rise, this is how.